What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another Ross Reviews, where today we are in this absolutely insane EVO 7. And just take a look at this thing and have a listen. Far out. This EVO is, as you can imagine, not stock. This thing is fairly modified, and it looks the business. Let me tell you, this got to be one of the nicest EVO 7s I've seen in Perth, and just the color. I actually do like the two-tone look as well, with the front guards and the bonnet being blacked out. And you know, when you just look at this thing rolling down the road, it is a sight to see, I tell you what. You got that carbon fiber boot lid as well. You know, this thing looks shit hot. It really does. Now, these EVO 7s were launched back in 2001, and they were carried through up until the EVO 8 release, which was in 2003. Now, this particular one started its life out as a GTA. So what that means was this was an automatic EVO, which, yeah, doesn't sound right, does it? This particular car has been modified, like we were saying, very extensively. We do have a proper 5-speed manual gearbox in here now, and my goodness, you know, this is the only way the EVO should have been released. It really is. Now, just before we continue with this EVO 7 review, please go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button and click the bell notifications just so you get updated on all our weekly uploads. Now, from factory, the EVO 7, sorry guys, came out with 275-ish brake horsepower, which Japanese gentlemanship agreement kind of thing. About 285 pound-foot of torque. Now, this particular one, with all the modifications, it's making around 350 wheel horsepower and about 450 pound-foot of torque. So, you know, it's a significant improvement. And I'll tell you what, you know, I've driven a couple of very high horsepower EVOs, you know, up into the 450 plus region, and I think this might be the sweet spot because it just feels so responsive, and just it doesn't feel very laggy to me. And man, you keep it in that boost figure here, and it is rapid, boy. Now, the price of these EVO 7s is it varies a bit. Now, from new, these weren't sold here in Australia. You know, these were a JDM only car, pretty much. And it was around 2.5 to 2.9 million Japanese yen at the time, which translates to around 40-ish thousand Australian dollars. So, you know, that sounds like a pretty good bargain right there. But, you know, obviously that's in Japan, so there is a difference. But you get a car, a used one at least, over here in Australia, you know, expect to pay around that $25,000 to $35,000, I would say. You know, obviously we got COVID tax at the moment, so, you know, I think you would be doing very well to get one that's at least in any good condition for around that 25 grand mark, because they really are a sought after car, and yeah, they usually are quite modified as well. Now, this has got a 40-liter tank, and the owner does data this thing, and he reckons he gets about 3 days out of it of, you know, good driving, because, yeah, it drinks the juice, these cars. They really do. So, yeah, keep that in mind if you're looking to buy one. I'm not usually a big fan either of the 5-speed manual in these EVOs. I've had quite a few issues with previous EVOs I've driven. This one is better. It definitely is better. It's still not really crisp. You really gotta get used to these gearboxes before you can go through them super fast. The clutch in this as well is quite stiff. I love the driving position. You know, you got these really nice Recaro racing seats in here. They really hug you quite tightly. You know, give you a lot of confidence going into the corners that, you know, you're going to be held in place. The steering really feels nice. These have a really short rack to them, so, you know, on the B roads like this, gives it a really nice feel. And it's only really while you're in town and you want to, you know, turn this thing around or, you know, go around tight corners that it does not perform very well. But for out here, it's bloody good. Man, this thing is amazing. And you think this car came out in 2001. Man, this thing was ahead of its time. Really was. You know, some of the rivals were, you know, like the Subaru STI and stuff, but I've been in a few STIs and I never thought they got that same flavor as the EVO. The EVO just always to me has felt like the more dominant car. It just has that more dominant feel to it, and they're kind of the more rare car as well. You know, you see STIs all around town, and when you see an EVO, you get a little bit excited. Just running through the gears here. The sound is really nice. This exhaust system, it sounds bloody good. Now with the active center differential being introduced in this EVO 7, it let you kind of change the characteristics slightly. With this little button here, it says it's marked ACD. It's up on the dash. You push that, and you can go through 3 different drive modes. You know, you got tarmac, gravel, snow, and that essentially just, you know, changes the torque split to help you in those different scenarios. It is coming to some of these big hairpins here. There's just so much grip. Far out, like. It is just, you know, you got to put it in perspective of how old this car is, you know, because I compare this to, like, you know, the CLA 45, you know, the Focus RS, you know, these cars, and those are all fairly new vehicles. You know, this thing is bloody from 2000, and it feels just as monstrous in the corners. It really does. The grip in here, you never feel at one stage that you're going to lose it. You really don't. And I think that is really why these cars done so well in the world of rally, because it really does just give you so much confidence flying into a corner. You know, you just point it where you want it, and, you know, this thing just goes in that direction. It really does. Love the look of the EVO 7 as well. You know, this thing just looks so good. Love that heat extractor on the bonnet up front as well. You know, just gives it such an aggressive look. And with this particular one, you know, you've got that large intercooler. You can just see it, and man, it is an aggressive front end. And man, the style is just over the top with this thing. It's just, it is screaming JDM, this thing, boy. Now, 0 to 100. Now, this being a pretty extensively modified car, I generally like the owners to do it. So we got the owner here. Cheers, man, for bringing the car down and, yeah, doing the 0 to 100. So no worries. When you're ready, man. Log a bit, and we're off. 100. Man, it's just tricky to get the launch on it, but you don't want to drop the clutch. You know, there's a lot of power going to all four wheels here. So, but it is rapid, man. It really is rapid. It's a rapid car. I'm gonna finish the video off here today, so a huge thanks to Nasi for bringing out his EVO 7, because this thing is an absolute weapon. One of the cleanest EVO 7s I've personally seen, and man, was it a lot of fun to take it out today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. If so, please remember to hit that like button, consider subscribing, and we'll see you on that next video.